Hello students, it's Pooja Pathak. Today we are going to study phylum Ctenophora. Ctenophora, they are commonly known as comb jellies, sea gooseberries and sea walnuts. Later on we will study why they are known as comb jellies and gooseberries and such comb jellies. Okay, now coming to the general characteristics students, the habitat, they are exclusively marine, pelagic and free swimming. Exclusively marine, the word is being used because there is no ctenophora animal which is found in fresh water, so that's why they are known as exclusively marine. Now coming to the body symmetry, they have transparent body, like you have seen in the first slide also. That video is showing the animal which is they have transparent body. Now coming to the biradial symmetry, the animal they have biradial symmetry, like cnidarians also. Cnidarians they have radial symmetry, but the sea anemone, when I have taught you the cnidaria, that time I told you that the sea anemones are the animal which have biradial symmetry, so they also resemble in cnidarians in so many ways. Slowly we will study that how they resemble the cnidarians. Now coming to the body organization, they have diploblastic organization. Diploblastic organization means student, you can understand like this. When the embryo is growing, that time what happens that they form two layers, the ectoderm and the endoderm. So this ectoderm and the endoderm, this further in during the development it will form the body organ system, or whatever the system that particular animal has, it will be developed through that germ layers. Okay, so when the animal has two germ layers, the ectoderm and endoderm, that are known as that diploblastic organisms. When they have three layers, ectoderm, endoderm as well as the mesoderm, they are known as triploblastic animals. So they are the diploblastic animals because they have ectoderm and endoderm. But there is a thing which is very important, that in between the ectoderm and endoderm there is one another layer which is known as mesoglia, which is sandwiched in between these two layers. And this mesoglia has amoebocyte cells, same like the cnidarians. Now coming to the locomotion, and one more point, they have tissue level of organization resembling to the cnidarians. I told you the ctenophora resembles the cnidarians in so many ways, so tissue level of organization is also seen in cnidarians and here also. Now coming to the locomotion, the body, this is very very important students, that these animals they have in their body actually bears 8 vertical external rows of ciliated comb plates. Comb plates, the name suggests comb plates, this is the reason they are known as comb jellies. Okay, now coming to the cnidocytes, in cnidarians the name cnidaria has been given because of the presence of cnidocyte cells which is present in the cnidarians. Here it is absent. Why I'm telling it is absent, because they resemble each other so much, so it is very confusing thing. Sometimes it is being asked that cnidocyte cells is present in ctenophora as well as coelenterata or cnidaria, so we get confused. So it is a very important point, so I have told you all. Now coming to the body wall, outer epidermis, inner gastrodermis as well as the middle mesoglia with amoebocytes, I have already told you all. Now coming to the absent system, this is also very important students. Absent system, here the skeletal system, excretory system, the circulatory system as well as the respiratory system, these all four systems are absent in their body. And you have to understand, you have to learn that also they are very actually they have tissue level of organization as you studied, so they don't have expertized organs in their body like we have. So just because of that they are very simple, so they have very simple tissue organization, and with the help of this tissue only they perform their body functions. But in that functions they don't have this skeletal, excretory, circulatory as well as the respiratory system. Now coming to the next slide, another general characteristics. Now, special cells, this is also very important students, you have to learn it. That special cells, they have glue cells, coloblast cells and lazo cells. They are present on the tentacles. Okay, now you will ask that tentacles, as you know, the tentacles, cnidarians also have tentacles, ctenophores also has tentacles, but the difference is what? The the tentacles in the cnidarians, that is present near the mouth, that is in the oral region, whereas in the ctenophores it is present near the aboral axis, means aboral area means away from the mouth, or we can say the anus area. Now coming to the, and it is very important that tentacles help them in capturing of food, and how they capture the food, because on the tentacles they have glue cells, or you can say the coloblasts cells. Now coming to the digestive system, mouth and gastrovascular canal is present for the digestive system, you have to learn it. Now coming to the nervous system is same like in the cnidarians, it is diffused type. In cnidarians also it is diffuse, in the ctenophora also it is diffuse. They have one statocyst or sense organ. Okay, what is the function? Because they are living in the water, in the marine water, so this statocyst help them to balance. Okay, now coming to the reproduction. Reproduction is only sexual reproduction is seen in their body, and no asexual reproduction, unlike cnidarians, because in cnidarians budding also occurs through asexual reproduction. Now coming to the body, their body actually during reproduction, their body has both the type of sexes, so the word used for them is hermaphrodite, means male and female sexes are present in the same body, or the another term which is used for this hermaphrodite term is monoecious. Monoecious means you can't differentiate the animal into male and female, means both the sexes are present in single body, sexes are not separate. Okay, now coming to the development, same like cnidarians, their development is also not direct, it is indirect. In cnidarians it is through planula larva, here development is through cedipede larva. Okay, so development indirect and direct means what? Direct development means when the birth takes place, or we can say the new young one come in the generation, that young one resembles completely to the adult one, then it is direct development. Okay, when the young one is not resembling the adult one, which is not looking like the adult one, but it has one larval stage, which will further after some development it will resemble to the adult one, it will take some time, then it is known as indirect, because it is the child is not completely resembling to the parent, it has one another stage in their life, that is larval stage also is there, so it is indirect. So which larva is present? Cedipede larva. Now you can see the diagram also of cedipede larva, I will show you all. This is cedipede larva, you can see here. Now coming to the classification, there is two classes for this ctenophora. First is tentaculata and the another is nuda. Tentaculata here, as the name suggests, the ctenophores which has tentacles, or how many tentacles? Two tentacles. Two tentacles in the adult form. So these ctenophores are added into the tentaculata, and the ctenophores which does not have tentacles, not even in the larval stage as well as not in the adult stage. So they are divided into the nuda. Now coming to the examples, Pleurobranchia, Hormiphora, Ctenophora and Coeloplana. These are the examples for Tentaculata, and Biroi is the example of Nuda. Now coming to the next slide, these are the some diagrammatic representation of animals, like this is Ctenoplana and Pleurobranchia. This is, you can see here the luminance also. Actually this is very important point of this ctenophore, that they have luminance, bioluminance in their body. This is very important, students. Bioluminance means whenever they are in their body, they will have one light. Okay, light emitting their body is. So just because of the presence of light or a spark in their body, that they are known as bioluminant organisms, or we can say they have bioluminance. Now coming to the next, this is the diagrammatic representation of Coeloplana, and another is, now here, this is velamen, which is somewhat, this is velamen, and this is another Pleurobranchia, which is freely floating. You can see the bioluminance also, you can see bioluminance in their body. Okay, now you can see the bioluminance, you can see the two tentacles, it is present near the aboral axis. Okay, now Thank you, students, and please do subscribe my channel. Please do subscribe my channel and please try to promote my channel, and thank you.